Hello, this is Derek, and this is a spiritual Mayan calendar consciousness update. Today is the 24th of July, 2009. So I've been talking a lot on the Mayan calendar and the consciousness for the 50% that is coming up roughly at around the middle of January of this year. And when I've looked back at the previous 50% mark of the last 7 cycles that have occurred, each one has bring massive change, and this one is not going to be any different. It seems as if around the 45 to 55% mark is when this all happens, and I'm just looking at the calendar now for when the 45% mark is to come about, which is pretty much now. I mean pretty much, whether it was last week, whether it's next week, 10 days, who knows. But it's in that general time frame. So this is the area in which we can expect a massive shift. Now, on a vague terms, what that means on the Mayan calendar is the current consciousness level that you are at now is going to come in at a much higher rate, higher frequency, and people are going to consciously care more about that cycle. Also, the previous cycle in which we had is cared about less, still going to be cared about consciously, but not as much as it was before, and those movements become more of a subconscious thing and not as much of a conscious thing. Also, the next cycle that's on the next horizon, at that point you should barely know it, but know it a little bit, and you will still barely know it, but a lot more than you did before, meaning you get some more understanding on that cycle. So how that translates is, the previous cycle was that of the consolidation of power, which meant that people were consciously putting a lot of their energies towards being powerful in whatever way, whether it's powerful as anything, as far as building houses, as far as doing great computer work. That's where the consciousness was really at that point. And this one that we're at now is all about right and wrong, truth, ethics, that sort of deal there, finding out the answers in which we've always wanted to know. And if you look on the internet, you can see a lot of the information's already come out. We've had a lot of information, a lot of reasons of what's happened in the past with our past history and government. This type of stuff is being revealed. We're getting information towards stuff like the new ages that are coming into play. It's coming in masses. We're finding out the foods that are healthy and not healthy. And if you think you've seen a lot of this on the internet with like YouTube videos and such like that, we really haven't seen anything yet, because over the years 2010 and into 2011, this should come in to be a massive, massive amount of people caring about what is right and wrong. And at the same time, the power in which people have consciously tried to put their effort into is going to be more subconscious. And at the same point, the next cycle that's coming in, which is conscious co-creation, you're going to have a better understanding about it. So when we're looking at the truth age, of course, a lot of the stuff about finding out who you are, all of these type of things are going to kick in to a much higher gear. So we had the, for example, The Secret came out roughly in 2004 or 5, I think, maybe even 06, but I think we'll say 2005. And this was roughly at around the 20-25% retracement of this cycle. And it seems as if the next law of attraction type of knowledge should come out in the year 2010. That's just going to be massive. Like overall, there's going to be a lot of new information, but this is just one of them that should be coming. And because we're going to have a higher understanding of the next cycle of co-creating, then we'll get a lot of that information that is really going to be just so amazing, in my opinion. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about business strategy, because it was one of the videos that I watched by David Wilcox, who's a very spiritual guy who's working towards the shift, and he was mentioning in one of his videos that to give away 90% of your stuff for free is a very successful business. And I highly agree with that type of method. Now, whether it's 80% or 78%, whatever, as long as it's at a higher level. I look at stuff like Neale Donald Walsch, who has made many amazing books, but yet he doesn't give a lot of his stuff away for free. And ever since he's made his money, he's still used that frequency of greed to make more. And this is something that I have a hard time promoting. What I'm planning to do with my page over the next little while is I do want to create a DVD or video download and give out. I've been giving all this information for free. I'm at the point where the only thing I really charge for, which is like $10, is an ebook which explains options strategy and information on the dollar crisis. So I'm going to probably continue the strategy, try to give out over 90% of my stuff for free, but also throw in a DVD later on within the next few months that has to work towards this Mayan calendar cycle. And like I said, I'm hoping to get it out over the next little while. And my strategy is not to charge that much money, because I don't think that's a smart strategy to overcharge items. And when you put a lot of energy into this work, this is the reason in which I want to do some of it. Now, the DVD that I make, I'm thinking about the strategy of putting like 90 minutes of it and then putting like half of it already on YouTube. That's something in which that I'm thinking towards. Now, like I said, I didn't agree with the strategy in which Neale Donald Walsch is using, but one of my good friends who's a vlogger on here also, his name is Brad Johnson, and he's come up with an amazing MP3 series, a 3.5 hour series, and he's only charging $10 for this MP3 package, which is just a magnificent price, and the information on it is just magnificent. But I also like his strategy, how he has a lot of good free information on his channel to begin with. So that is why I like a lot of the business decisions in which he is doing. What I'm going to do at the end of this video is put a brief little sample to what he has on there, along with a look at what his modules include, because it's not just channeling. If you're looking to get information towards channeling to find your higher self, that's amazing, but there's a lot more in it towards like meditation. It's so much more, and I highly recommend it. So thank you for watching it, and remember now to stay tuned for this preview of this amazing MP3 series. God bless, and have yourself a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
One of the very common questions I'm asked is, what is it that you need to channel? You know, what kind of state do you need to be in to channel? The best form I can suggest is just a relaxed one. A relaxed, deep breath, perfect place, centered, balanced form of being brought through meditation. Meditation in itself is a focal point. Your whole intention for meditation in that sense is a reminder of inner self. It's tuning into your inner self. You're pretty much tuning the dial of your reality, and you're tuning into the channel, I guess you could say, of your inner being. You're finding yourself through meditation, and that's what's so great about it. It is a very valuable tool. When you get into the idea of meditation, when you get into that centering balance of meditation, when you finally are into that beingness state where everything is aligned, everything is centered, everything is, I guess I could say, that is really the reception you need. The whole idea of channeling in that sense requires the idea of relaxation, centered mind, positivity.